The second Summit for Democracy, hosted by the United States, just concluded not long ago. How did it go? One article of the Wall Street Journal just summarized it well. Pundits penned the first such summit in December 2021 as poorly conceived and possibly counterproductive. This one was no different. The two-day gathering invited leaders from 120 countries, but only 73 countries initially endorsed the summit declaration. The summit was mocked by the netizen as a show of hypocrites. How hypocritical is the summit? Let's take a look at its participants. White House spokesperson John Kirby said that they put together the invite list based on factors like progress towards basic human rights and civil rights and freedom of the press. However, among its participants are India, which witnessed its opposition figure Rahul Gandhi to be expelled from the country's parliament because he was convicted of defamation in Modi's home state of Gujarat for a 2019 campaign trail remark seen as an insult to the prime minister. Israel, whose leader Benjamin Netanyahu wants to shut down judicial independence. Regarding participants like these, Edward Luce, the writer of Financial Times, commented, with friends such as these, democracy hardly needs enemies. Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez said the United States Democracy Summit was selective and virtual as its own democracy, a reflection of its own international moral isolation. For decades, the United States has claimed itself as the beacon of democracy. However, many facts reveals that the American democracy is surreal. The midterm election in 2022 was the most expensive one in history, which costed over $16 billion across federal and state elections. Money was squandered on electing senators and other legislative officials. What were the returns? Did it benefit society as a whole? The national poll of the United States, conducted by Impact Research, show that only 4 in 10 Americans at least somewhat trust the federal government to do what is right. The United States-style democracy has also been criticized by the international community. President of the Socialist Party of Zambia, Fred Mamem, commented the style democracy in this way.
A country that has been built on brutal force, on enslavement of other human beings, on the humiliation of Africans, the exploitation of Africans, the plunder of Africa, today is coming to teach us about democracy.
Recently, so many good things are happening among countries in the Middle East that once were afflicted by disharmony. For instance, Saudi Arabia and Iran agreed to end their 7-year rift and restore their diplomatic ties under China's mediation on March 10th. And then on April 6th, foreign ministers of the two countries met in Beijing. On March 18, Turkish foreign minister visiting Egypt marked the first high-level trip in over a decade. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad arrived in the United Arab Emirates for an official visit on March 19. Kenthan on Twitter said, "If you want to know where peace talks are happening, check out the events in Beijing. The only glimmer of hope for a peaceful world is coming from those who are not invited to Biden's Democracy Summit." Quite ironic, right? Over the past decades, the United States-style democracy has made countries like Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria be pestered by incessant chaos. People cannot help questioning, does the world really need democracy like this?